and deeply sobering. The actions of the Imperial Japanese Army during World War II. It's a difficult chapter of history, but understanding it is crucial for learning lessons that remain relevant today. Our goal is to approach this subject with respect for all those affected and a commitment to historical accuracy. The period from the early 1930s through 1945 saw the Empire of Japan engaged in extensive military campaigns across Asia and the Pacific. This era, often referred to as the Second Sino-Japanese War and the Pacific War, was marked by immense conflict and widespread suffering. The ideology driving the expansion was complex, blending nationalism, a sense of destiny, and economic ambitions. This expansionist policy brought millions of people under Japanese military control, and it's in this context that we must examine the events that unfolded. One of the most documented and heart-wrenching episodes is what is known as the Nanking Massacre in 1937. After capturing the Nan capital of China, Nanking, the Japanese army engaged in a period of extreme violence. Historical accounts and post-war tribunals have detailed widespread atrocities committed against both surrendered soldiers and civilians. The scale of this event was staggering, and it has left a deep and lasting scar on the collective memory of the region. International observers who remained in the city, such as John Rabe, a German businessman, created a safety zone that saved thousands, and their diaries provide invaluable, first-hand testimony of what they witnessed. The suffering was not confined to Nanking. Across occupied territories, from China to Southeast Asia, a system of forced labor was implemented. Millions of civilians and Allied prisoners of war were compelled to work in brutal conditions, often on infrastructure projects designed to support the Japanese war effort. The conditions were horrific, with workers facing malnutrition, disease, and cruel treatment. The human cost was immense, with tens of thousands of conscripted laborers and Allied posts perishing during its construction. This is a euphemism for a system of institutionalized sexual slavery where women These experiments involve vivisections, disease injections, and testing biological weapons, all under the guise of medical research. This has been a point of significant moral and historical contention ever since. These experiences have been detailed in countless memoirs and testimonies from survivors, painting a stark picture of their struggle for survival. After the war, the Tokyo Trials, officially the International Military Tribunal for the Far East, were convened to bring high-ranking Japanese military and political leaders to justice for war crimes. While some key figures were prosecuted, many argued the trials were incomplete. The immunity granted to the emperor and the researchers of Unit 731, for example, meant that a full accounting of responsibility was never achieved in the eyes of many victims and historians. Reflecting on these events is not about assigning collective guilt to any nation or people today. The Japan of the 21st century is a peaceful and democratic nation, a world away from its imperial past. However, understanding this history is essential. And most importantly, it honors the memory of the millions who suffered and died. The legacy of this period is complex and continues to affect international relations in East Asia. Debates over history textbooks, official apologies, and memorials are still ongoing. These are not just academic arguments. They touch upon deep-seated national pain and the desire for justice and reconciliation. For true healing to occur, there must be a shared understanding and acknowledgement of the past. It's our responsibility as global citizens to learn from these dark chapters of our shared history. Education is our most powerful tool against the repetition of past mistakes. Thank you for joining me for this difficult but necessary discussion. If you found this video informative, please consider liking it and subscribing to our channel for more deep dives into history. Let's continue the conversation and the learning process together. Thanks for watching.